Alrighty guys, we're back for some mono black aggro, and this is a Wilds of Eldraine standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to ya. Also, we do get that Discord link as well as that Patreon link down in the description if you're interested in joining either of those up. Okay, what do we got packed into the build here? We got Evolve Sleeper, 3 of them in here. Powerful creature, obviously. We got 3 Faerie Dreamthiefs as well. This is a 1-mana 1/1 with flying. Okay. And then when Dream Thief enters the battlefield, surveil 1. Nice, not bad. We kind of just think of that as a scry ability in this deck, you know what I mean? Then for 2 and a black, you can exile Dream Thief from your graveyard. You draw a card and lose 1 life. Not bad, dude. I think this has a lot packed onto it to just make it a solid creature even outside of fairies. So we have 4 Okiba Reckoner raids here for the first 2 chapters. Each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. That's powerful enough. And then it flips into Road Captain, a 2/2 with Menace. Beautiful. Got 4 Gingerbrutes here, 1-mana 1/1 artifact creature. Has haste, and for 1 mana, Gingerbrute can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with haste. Beautiful ability, guys. It also has that food ability tacked to the bottom here where we could potentially gain life if we need to. Not going to activate that too often, I don't think. We have all 4 Ayara's Oathsworn here. I think this is the first time I'm actually getting a chance to play with this. It's a 2 mana, 2/2, Rockin' Menace. Yeah, never underestimate the power of Menace, I'll tell you what. Whenever Ayara's Oathsworn deals combat damage to a player, if it has fewer than 4 +1/+1 counters on it, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then, if it has exactly 4 +1/+1 counters on it, search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Nice, dude. I think this looks super solid. We'll see how much it actually does in here. But we do have cards that help us proliferate. A couple Drown in Ichors is a 2-mana sorcery speed. Target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn, which is solid, and then proliferate. And then that proliferate obviously helps us add lore counters to our sagas as well, so helping those flip over into creatures a little bit sooner or just get extra abilities sooner. Yep, it's gonna be solid, especially, yeah, just like getting an extra Reckoner raid or 2 down and then dropping a Drown in Ichor. It seems really good, doesn't it? We have a single Go for the Throat, just solid piece of removal. Got 4 Life of Toshiros here. This is a 2-mana enchantment saga for the first 2 chapters. So you get to choose one of these, so target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn, or target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn, or you gain 2 life. Beautiful card, dude. Every time I played with Life of Toshiro, I've absolutely loved it. The amount of extra utility just packed in is really solid. Chapter 3 flips into Memory of Toshiro, a 2/3 enchantment creature. You can tap it, pay 1 life, add 1 black mana, spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery spell, which we do have in here. Of course, that could even help you cast out simple things like the Go for the Throat or Drown in Ichor too. So, yep, beautiful card, dude. Also, we have a couple Sugar Rush in here. This is a 2-mana instant speed. Target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn, and you draw a card. It might be a janky pick, but it might also not be half bad when we have all these ways of getting that extra damage through, right? Whether it's an unblocked menacing creature, buffing that on up, or if they double blocked a creature, and maybe you could have one heck of a combat trick, and Sugar Rush replaces itself because you get that card draw too, so. Could also be as simple as, you know, a Gingerbrute flying in with that ability, only being able to be blocked by creatures with haste, buffing that on up with a Sugar Rush too. I think that card draw ability at the bottom of this is what really makes me want to try it out though, of course. So we have 4 Witches Vanities here. It's a 2-mana enchantment saga. For the first chapter, destroy target creature an opponent controls with mana value 2 or less. That could hit a lot from a lot of different builds. And you know, it says target creature. It doesn't say like non-token or anything too. So yeah, I think that first ability is gonna land often. Chapter 2, create a food token. Okay. Chapter 3, create a Wicked Roll token attached to target creature you control. So the Wicked Roll's an aura. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. When this aura is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life, just helping us out with that aggro side of things. Putting that Wicked Roll onto a Gingerbrute is pretty solid too. Or like a creature with flying, like Faerie Dreamthief, or a creature with menace, right? A lot of different types of invasion packed into this build. Okay, what else do we got in here? Got all 3, well, not all 3, but it's a legendary creature, so that's why my brain is saying that, right? We have 3 Lord Skitter Sewer Kings. 3 mana 3/3. When a rat ETBs under your control, exile up to 1 target card from an opponent's graveyard. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you create a 1/1 black rat creature token with this creature can't block. Helping us go wide is pretty solid, just a pretty solid creature overall, I would say. We got Braids, Arisen Nightmare, only as a 1-of in here. This is a 3 mana, 3/3 at the beginning of the end step. You may sacrifice an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each opponent who doesn't, that player loses 2 life and you draw a card. So all the extra value that you're getting off of cards like Witch's Vanity and stuff like that could really go a long way for Braids, but overall it's not a dedicated Braids build, so that's why it's only a 1-of. And we got the top end here, we have a single Sheoldred the Apocalypse, because it would be silly not to squeeze at least one of them in here. We also have a couple Beseech the Mirrors here. This is a 4 mana, sorcery speed, rock and bargain, so you may sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or token as you cast a spell. So search your library for a card, exile it face down, then shuffle. If this spell was bargained, you may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost if that spell's mana value is 4 or less. Put the exiled card into your hand if it wasn't cast this way. So if it wasn't bargained, you're just slapping a card into your hand, but you always want to bargain this, I would say. That's another reason to only have some of the 1-ofs in here too. If we really need a Braids onto the board, then maybe we can go Beseech the Mirror, find the Braids from the deck. Same concept with the Sheoldred. Having the extra tokens with the rats and everything helps us bargain, but then also we have so many artifacts, so many enchantments packed in here. I don't think the bargain is going to be a problem at all, but we'll see, huh? The mana base, guys, 22 total land. I think it should be enough. The average casting cost here, 1.9, so it is a little bit under 2. 22 land should technically be enough, but we'll see, we'll see. And then we got the Roadside Reliquary over here too. So many artifacts, so many enchantments. I think there are going to be plenty of moments. Maybe we end up like flooding out a little bit or something. We get a little bit too far into the mid game that we really don't want to be, and then we just restock our hand with the Roadside Reliquary. Of course, one of them is an Abandoned Mire as well. Honorable mentions over here, guys. Thought about Hopeless Nightmare, thought about Spiteful Hexmage, thought about Blightbelly Rat as well, and Archfiend of Dross could be a really sick top end for the build. Also thought about Mire because it could help you generate those mites, which you can also bargain away too, their artifacts and all that too, so it works with the Roadside Reliquary, just not this time around, but I could easily see dropping a Swamp and going up the Mire. But then there is a very small chance that you end up getting only 4 mana for a game, and one of them's Mire and one of them's Roadside, and then for some reason, like, that's all you see and you can't activate like the Beseech the Mirror. But that wouldn't happen too often. That's probably very particular. I'm being a little bit too particular there, right? But so yeah, Mire, honorable mention for a good reason, huh? Okay, guys, is that everything? I think so. Let's go ahead, take it into some ranked and see how we do. Okay, right into that first game. That's good news, guys. Yeah, so far while recording today, the matches have been taking a little bit longer to find. There was just an update. Okay, we go first. I think this is fine. I wouldn't call this a mulligan, especially since we have that Surveil right out the gate here. I'm gonna keep that Dreamthief on top. I like that there. Swift Spear, huh? Oh, right into Vanity, take care of that Swift Spear easily. Get Roadside down, that's fine. Swift Spear is out of here. And we're also trying to do the aggro thing. We might actually be able to keep up pace with Mono Red since we went first too, so we'll see though. This is much slower than Mono Red, but Swift Spear number 2 might meet its end with Witch's Vanity number 2. Ooh, Life of Toshiro is a good draw too. One mountain open from the opponent. Okay, Witch's Vanity. Let's do this. Take care of that Swift Spear. That's pretty good, man. Swing with Dreamthief. Play the Dreamthief. See what we surveil. Evolved Sleeper. Keep that on top. Yeah, I think these are solid draws, dude. The being able to do multiple things on the same turn is huge, man. Wow, Swiss Spear number 3. All right. Stocked on the Swiss Spears, huh? Yeah, Fall Sleeper, sweet. Good draw. Wicked roll onto a Dreamthief. Still think we can keep up pace here, guys. I really do. Okay, Life of Toshiro. And we're gonna go... Yeah. I'm skipping the life gain. We're going for this, dude. I really do believe we can get there. Down to 13, get that sleeper down. Let's not forget the food here. This can help us gain life too if we really need it. We're gonna get another wicked roll next turn too. Gonna put that on the Dreamthief. That way if they start burning those away, at least the wicked rolls will do extra damage too. Oh, you know what would really be bad though, and end the festivities? If they can take out 2 of our creatures for the price of 1, that would be really bad. Because they still have so many cards in hand here. Most of our stuff is already on this board, ready to go. Okay, Lightning Strike the Sleeper. Wow. So no chump blocker for us. Might be Lightning Strike number 2, down to 11. Mana. Okay, still a ton of damage. They still have 1 mana open too, so... Down to 13. It's just 1 mana open over there. A wicked roll. And... I'm tempted by the life gain, I am, but we're actually just going to go +2/+2. I should have put it onto the other one. Okay, good. It doesn't look like it was an instant. Okay. We have 6 on this board, guys. Life of Toshiro flipping next turn. We do have draw 2 on Roadside Reliquary. I'm going to go Sugar Rush. Draw a card, see what we see. That is 9 damage coming through. Oathsworn. Okay, if we don't gain life, do we die next turn? Probably not, I hope. So let's get that Oathsworn down. We do know mono red can be super explosive, especially since they have 4 mountains here too. Like, there's a lot they could potentially do. But I think at the very least, getting a blocker down, we should be fine. Only have 2 mountains available. If this Kumano was flipping that turn, then we maybe would have gained life. Okay, Lightning Strike. That's going to be an extra damage to their face. I think that's game, guys. Yeah, they can't even keep a blocker back because of the menace on the Oathsworn. Beautiful, dude. First of all, going first there, very lucky. Like, we really wanted to go first against mono red. If they went first, I think that probably would have been a different game where we actually would have had to use some of the life gain abilities instead of just continuously plugged that damage through. 2 turns of life gain on Life of Toshiro plus all the food too. The food does take some mana, but maybe we would have been able to get enough life gain for a while to actually just pull ahead. I don't know. Maybe we'll see more mono red today too, so... currently waiting for the next match. Let's go ahead and pause until we find it, huh? Oh, there we go. Well, okay. I'll keep an eye on that instead of rambling through these middle parts, because yeah, like I said, it's been taking a lot longer today to find opponents. Good hand, yeah, dude. These hands have been sick. We go first again too. Instead of Witch's Vanity, I might go into the Oathsworn, get the ball rolling there. Doesn't have haste or anything. Gonna start with that swing. Oathsworn. And think about the Witch's Vanity for next turn, but it really depends, because sleeper number 2. Ooh, Gingerbrute. How fast can we go? I'm going to play sleeper number 2 and activate sleeper number 1. Virtue of Loyalty. They can only block sleeper here. I'm gonna go for the throat back. Since this is the exact same concept, only we lose, well, I think keeping go for the throat is gonna be a little bit better here. Hopefully I made the correct decision. So instead, we just traded a sleeper instead of trading the go for the throat. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe that was fine. Dusk Legion Duelist. The land is good. Alright, Witch's Vanity, dude. Hitting its mark. I'll tell you what. We could go Gingerbrute, but I am kind of concerned about a board wipe. Alright. Yeah, I'm concerned a little bit about a board wipe in the next couple turns, so we're just gonna stick to the creatures we have on the board for now. Don't want to forget about the Sugar Rush or anything. Lauren takes care of the Witch's Vanity, nice. And still blocks pretty well. To go for the throat, we have that now. So just power up the Sleeper's ability too if they end up blocking. And the Menace just continues to literally be a menace. Menace getting by the chump blocks easily. Alright, we're just plugging even more into the Sleeper for the turn and probably get the Dreamthief down. That Surveil could be really good. And if it ends up dying to a board wipe as well, a Dreamthief. Yeah, no, I think we keep that on top. The flying could be huge when the opponent is this low. It's not a Sunfall. Oh my goodness. Siege Veteran for the turn. Okay, so Sugar Rush in the air or just like go for the throat on the ground here real quick. They have 2 open is the thing, so that could also be some spot removal, right? I think it's Sugar Rush. Let's see what ends up happening. So spot removal would kind of mess this turn up, and we have to just expect that, right? Why are they double blocking there? What's going on? I think I'm gonna do Sugar Rush on the Dreamthief. Oh, spot removal for the Oathsworn then. But what's the double block for on the Sleeper? I might be missing something. Okay, Oathsworn is dead. We played Gingerbrute and swung with that too. We actually would have had it. Yeah, we actually would have had lethal, guys. But we're taking out both of their creatures here. I'm not 100%. What am I missing, guys? Let me know. I guess we're still gonna play Dreamthief. Yeah, GG opponent. Yeah, we still wanted to play it out, but we were gonna keep Gingerbrute in hand in case there was a board wipe. Since it has haste, you know what I mean? Hey, Platinum, let's go. Yeah, we had enough mana for sure. We could just play this next turn and still activate that to get through as well. Them chilling at 1. Yeah, dude, we really plugged damage through. Yeah, let me know in the comments if I'm missing something with that double block onto Sleeper. Because they were in trouble either way. And saving that go for the throat didn't actually do anything for us that game either, so maybe I could have used go for the throat that turn instead too. Really depends. And we would have had lethal on the board if I would have just played the Gingerbrute and swung with that too, so that's definitely something to think about. Okay, guys. Now, oh no, we found the next opponent. I was gonna say, now I'll actually pause the recording until we find the next one. It's really funny. Okay. We go first again. Dude, what's up, man? Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. We definitely like to go first in this build. Oathsworn was sweet last game. Wow. Probably just do that. We have like the Sleeper. We could play Sleeper and use its ability too, but getting that Oathsworn down early is pretty gross, I would say. Okay. Well, I got blue over there, unfortunately. Start with that swing, I suppose, and then go into Lord Skitter. Looks like 3's getting through. Must be a counter spell. If it's counter, I'd rather play around to make disappear, get that sleeper down, and then activate that ability when it comes time. Virtue of Loyalty. Okay. So yeah, we could have activated the Gingerbrute to get around that, and then the Menace was getting around that too, so that's why they waited till the end. Although attempting that to block the Gingerbrute and forcing us to tap down a swamp to get around it would have been decent too, right? It depends what else they had in hand, though. If they were keeping open a Make Disappear with the Virtue, then keeping open the Make Disappear was probably better. Potential of hitting a 3-drop instead. They go for the cut down. Yep, I suppose that is going to land, regardless of what we do here. Because spending 1 to make it a 2/2 does not get around that cut down. However, the rest of our board state is just still terrific, man. Witch's Vanity is pretty good too. With 2 open, I think we are going to try the Lord Skitter for the turn. And we're going to do this instead. Can't be blocked. Have the 3 for the Lord Skitter. There might be better stuff to hit with the Witch's Vanity. Fairy Mastermind. Double block the Oathsworn. They lose 2 things, though. I guess that's worthwhile depending on their build. Which... yeah. So if I would have went Witch's Vanity to take care of that, then that wouldn't have happened. Alright, Lord Skitter comes down, though. Which is huge for us, man. We don't get the 1/1 because we played it after combat, but still. Oh, that's a problem. Witch's Vanity does not hit it. Beseech the Mirror. Beseech the Mirror. What do we grab? An answer for Sheoldred or like our own Sheoldred? If we grab our own Sheoldred, there's a really good chance that they'll just have an answer for it, right? So we'll swing with the Gingerbrute. Guess we'll get rid of their Mastermind, right? Sheoldred's a problem. Right. This is tricky. We also have, oh man. I don't know what we grab here, guys. I really don't. Braids could be good. It might just be a go for the throat for that Sheoldred, which feels pretty bad, I would say. Let's do that. Sheoldred's a problem in general. Hopefully they don't have Sheoldred number 2, right? So hopefully that was fine. Grabbing our own Sheoldred, they have a higher chance of having removal for it, I would say. Okay, Life of Toshiro. On the Gingerbrute. We still have enough. I'll activate this before we swing. I activated it, right? Get rid of their Sheoldred. Did I activate it? Doesn't it usually say? Wandering Emperor. Luckily, they can't do the -1 successfully. Gonna exile the Lord Skitter. Okay, opponent gains 2 back down to 12. Witch's Vanity. Do I save this or do I play it? I think we save it. There's a chance that they go -1 on the Emperor here too. We're fiend. Oh, buddy, we are in trouble this match, guys, for sure. For sure, dude. Yep, up to a 2/5. That ward is tricky to get around as well. Another land. Uh-oh. What are you at? Okay. So we want to go +2 on the Brute. Make sure we actually get through with the Brute here. Rafine doesn't have haste, so Yeah, there we go. Now the little symbol popped up. Maybe the symbol didn't pop up last turn because they didn't have a creature on the board.
I'll be back.
Is it time to just play Witch's Vanity, or do we still want to keep it in hand as removal? Honestly, I don't know what's better, getting through this and getting a wicked roll, or saving this for potential removal when it comes time. Probably saving it, making sure we can destroy it just based on what they're playing here. There's probably a lot of options, even from Wandering Emperor tokens and stuff, right? They go for the swing. Okay, Life of Toshiro flips. We really don't want to see a land off the top, that's for sure. Yeah, I think they have a great chance of outpacing us. That untaps too, so. Mana value 2 or less, huh? Okay, maybe it is time to play the Witch's Vanity. Maybe. So realistically, we haven't seen too much from the opponent. It's a good board state that we have right now. The Menace gets by on the Oathsworn. Next turn, we'll get a food token off the Vanity. I think we still save it. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking the Witch's Vanity a little bit here. Ooh, power up the Restless Fortress. Dude, this is a big problem, man. Blocking here is a risk of a Seat of the Empire, but maybe it... Oh, okay. Yep, they're going to start plugging counters onto that Restless Fortress too. And then these both untap at the end. Oh no, dude, we're in trouble. Denick in the grave. No great blocks now. Yeah, we're just gonna take the 7 and hope to draw really, really well this turn. Yeah, they end up gaining 2 from this as well. Everything on taps. Okiba Reckoner Raid is not enough. They have 3 open too, so anything we would have drawn had a chance of actually getting countered too, so the Menace gets by quite well. Hello, opponent. Oh my goodness. Down to 8. Not bad. Not bad. I don't think we did bad at all, guys. That Wandering Emperor happened to be pretty brutal. And maybe the order of things, right? If I would have kept the... I don't know. Yeah, because that Sheoldred play, I feel like we had to get rid of that Sheoldred regardless, right? Click the pass turn button. Since they dropped the hello, we'll give him a little emote as well. All right, I think the deck feels pretty decent so far, guys. I really do. Let's keep going. Seems relatively fast. We might not be fast enough for certain mid-range builds, which could be a huge problem, right? Where if you look at mono red, it's just so ridiculously fast with... I don't want to call it like consistent wins on turn 4, but like by turn 4 for mono red, like you're just like sweating big time. So like, I don't think that this deck is capable of that by any means. So if it ends up getting a little bit too far into that mid game, then we're in trouble. Uh-oh, only 1 swamp. We go first. By some miracle, we're going first a lot today. You know what, dude? I think it's been great so far. Let's push the limits of this build and try 1 swamp, huh? Actually, surveilling with Dreamthief then is a little better because we could get rid of a card that's not a swamp. There you go. Sorry, Braids. Although it would have been really cool to play with Braids this game too, though. Island from the opponent. There we go. We found a swamp. Beautiful, dude. Nice. It's probably, well, we'll start with the swing. It's probably sleeper for the turn. Before they have enough mana to just straight up counter a sleeper, you know what I mean? Whereas 1 island can't, like, Spell Pierce exists. Spell Pierce could easily stop the life of Toshiro, which would be good extra damage now, but sleeper probably actually hits this board then, and Fading Hope would be... Looks like that's potentially what they were thinking about there. And turn. Yep, no Fading Hope. Okay, nice. They might want to try a bigger tempo play with that anyways. Like wait for us to actually spend mana on it and stuff. Gingerbrute, 2 mana open. Couple decisions here, man. I'm gonna go Life of Toshiro, see if that counter hits. Then we go +2/+2 onto Dreamthief. And if the counter spends all their mana, then we get to keep both creatures and swing for that 3, so it's not too bad. Especially when Mono Blue really doesn't like it when you spam out creatures, and so when it comes time for like doubling down on Gingerbrutes and everything, looks like they're looking for the 3rd mana with that Consider. They ditch a Make Disappear. Yeah, playing Consider on their turn means they missed their 3rd. Okay. That's good news for us, guys. Sometimes I feel bad when the opponents miss mana, but Mono Blue, on the other hand... A lot of decisions, dude. I'm gonna go Gingerbrute now. See what that 1 mana is, and just probably play the other Gingerbrute. Like I said, Mono Blue does not like it when you spam creatures onto the board. And the Gingerbrutes have haste, so we get that extra damage through a turn early too. If we would have taken the turn to like buff the sleeper or something, GG opponent, let's go, guys. Kept a very risky hand. The Surveil really came in handy, found us that swamp right when we needed it, and then the opponent was getting very unlucky not seeing their 3rd, unfortunately. Yeah, overall, decent, man. When you're playing a deck like this and you just have so many 1-drops and stuff, then there's so many different options on each turn, and like the order of that turn. Like, you know, so many great options of the ordering. Is that the words I'm looking for? The line of play. Hold on, I'll figure this out. Yeah, so many different options for the line of play, right? Like, it's not straightforward when you can spam out a whole bunch of different things in different orders and stuff. And of course, what you're playing against matters as well. Yeah, dude, we go first again. I don't know what's happening. Did we go second a single time? I don't even know at this point. I really don't. But I do like going first. I know that much. So I'm happy about it. Which is Vanity not finding a mark the last couple of games, but I like the card. I like it a lot, actually. Well, there we go. We probably just take care of that right away and then swing. Sleeper's good too, though. Like, we could play that and then have Gingerbrute unblockable, but yeah, we just take care of that Visitor right away. I think that's totally fine. And then we get the ball rolling on this too. Maybe get that wicked roll on the Gingerbrute. Maybe a turn sooner with a Drown and Ichor play. That'd be pretty sick. But I'd like to get Life of Toshiro down before we get the Proliferate, right? Like, Sleeper. I wonder if they chump if I buff that, or if we just go minus on the Companion. I think either one does the job, and then potentially getting the 3 through is a little bit better. So that flips. Lord Skitter's pretty good. This flips next turn. Life of Toshiro is probably the play over anything else. We'll buff this. We could make it unblockable, but I want to get Sleeper down instead, so a chump here is totally fine. It's the same concept as just going -1/-1 off of Toshiro onto the Companion. With a chance of actually getting the 3 through like that, which is great. Sleeper comes down, Witch's Vanity is gonna plug that wicked roll right onto that Gingerbrute for sure. When I found their 3rd. Kami of Transience. Still got 1 mana open. Could be an Audacity for the Companion or something. Kami of Transience. Taking care of the Companion. Yeah, it is going to be an Audacity too. We still hit that with Drown and Ichor, and so this is going to be a brutal turn. If we go Gingerbrute, we buff the Gingerbrute twice with both of our sagas. Wow, they go for a swing too. Maybe we don't even have to take care of that companion. We go all in on the Brute for the turn. Not that it matters necessarily, because I'm gonna hit that Kami of Transience. They get it back to their hand and they get a draw with Audacity. But taking care of it still seems really good. Then next turn we'll have Life of Toshiro. Well, this turn we'll have Memory of Toshiro, but next turn we can swing with it. Either way, by doing this, we get a swing with both of our creatures. So yeah, they draw a card, and at the end they'll get the Kami of Transience back to their hand too, but it's not bad. We can think of it as a tempo play. Down to 9. Okay, this is anyone's game for sure. Selesnya enchantments can be, I mean, no other words for it except brutal, you know what I mean? It can be absolutely brutal. Alex comes down. At this point, like, we have the Evolved Sleeper, we could play the other Sleeper. We have great swings next turn, just like terrific swings. We don't have to play anything. We just like, ooh, okay. Witch's Vanity's good. Accept any trades, right? We go Witch's Vanity. We swing, accept any trades that they have for us. And then just play the second Sleeper. And if they don't trade, then this is 6 going through to their face. A trade into Gingerbrute means the Wicked Roll does an extra. Trade into, yeah, that's a terrific trade for us, dude. It's looking good, man. It's looking good. I'm gonna play a Sleeper. Get ready for next turn swing. If a 4th mana comes down and they double down on Ossification, oh, it's a tap land. Some lifelink on this board state, and then an Ossification would also be really good. So, what's the card name? I forget right now. Either way, it was just a Kami of Transience for the turn. But the 2-mana lifelink that we've been playing against for so long, and I can't even remember, we'll drop them the GGs in return. We will go ahead and buff this up. I'm playing it out. They still have 1 open. It could be a Tamiyo safekeeping easily, dude, so. And a full swing again. We ignore the Gingerbrute's ability. Oh, it's not even game. It's not even game, guys. Well, I guess it depends where they block here. But they did drop the GGs, so I dropped it in return. Yeah, the only block is the Sleeper. And like I said, it's not game, but, I mean, now when the Sleeper dies, is it going to be the Tamiyo safekeeping? Royal Treatment. It's still a trade, though. Down to 1. Transience comes back to hand because they lost the aura. That GG's definitely made me think we had lethal on the board, but yeah, we definitely didn't. And that, again, that Royal Treatment, that could have been a Tamiyo safekeeping, so they could, like, still be at 3 here. 5 mana could be great. Couple pieces of removal, but they need to gain life first because, well, that could be an issue. Again, like an Ossification, pick up one of these cards now that Catilda's a 2/2 instead. Michiko's Reign of Truth. Catilda is in fact a 2/2 with lifelink. They're still in this, but Wicked Roll number 2 is coming down, which means we can just plug that onto the Gingerbrute and not swing. So that's good news at least, because they were still at 1. That's all we ended up having to do. All right, nice, guys. We're about 40 minutes in. The games are fast. Let's go one more, huh? As much as I love to end on high notes, having a blast with this one, dude. Just good old-fashioned aggro. Like I was saying after the last game, relatively complex lines of play because of all the different decisions you can do with all the 1s and the 2s. But that being said, pretty easy deck overall to play, I would say. Like, while the lines of play can be complex, it kind of runs itself. Also, I'm much more comfortable with aggro decks like this too, so that might be it. We go first again. Guys, what? I mean, I'm okay with it, but I'm not used to this. Start with that Okiba Reckoner Raid. Get that flip to turn sooner. That's totally fine. Yeah, dude, going first all these matches has been huge for us. I don't even know how many games we ended up playing and going first with, but... Slam down the Gingerbrute, get the swing. Extra damage now, get that sleeper down, ready to buff up for next turn. Want to do multiple creatures on the same turn regardless because of spot removal. From a deck like that runs these colors. A little bit of ramp from the Scoundrel, and they do not swing. Life of Toshiro, such a good draw, man. That's such a good draw. Let's get rid of their Scoundrel. Actually, a chump, it's the same concept as the last game. A chump ends up being the exact same concept. Only we get extra damage through, which can be huge for us. Down to 12. Yeah, if we got rid of their blocker, sure, they'd be a creature down, but 4 mana available. Sheoldred! We got that go for the throat, luckily. Goodbye, Sheoldred. Now do we want to... No, I think we let them keep that, huh? Saw some mana here. Oh, this does have haste. So we can't necessarily just activate that. We do have Sleeper's ability, though, which we'll probably do over the Dreamthief. Are they going to chump one of these? They end up chumping. Let's go ahead and activate that Sleeper ability and hope we don't run into a board wipe next turn, because that would be devastating, right? Brotherhood's End, something like that. 4 mana. Sheoldred number 2? Sheoldred number 2, okay. Life of Toshiro flips. We got the Death Touch on the Sleeper, Witch's Vanity not hitting its mark. This would have done pretty good against their chump blocker with the Scoundrel. Menace gets through. They're going to be forced to block Sleeper, huh? One, two. No, they can take 6. They could totally take 6 here. No, they can't. They have to block Sleeper. We can activate it. Do we draw off a Sleeper for the turn? I think no. I think we do not. Let's get that Surveil on the Dreamthief. And we're going to keep... Oh, I'm going to send the Lord Skitter. I don't know if we need that right now. Opponent's at 4. They need a board wipe regardless. So hopefully it's not a board wipe, right? Ooh, Gix's Command. It does hit everything, doesn't it? Oh, crap. Oh, crap, guys. Well, we now have an uphill battle for the rest of this game. So we'll see. We'll see. Witch's Vanity is probably not the play. The draw on the Dreamthief. Abandoned Mire is not half bad, guys. I think it's going to be draw off of the Dreamthief, unfortunately. Well, Abandoned Mire could have grabbed us. Yeah. Witch's Vanity. Gets rid of Scoundrel when it comes time. I guess we save that. Oh, no, guys. Oh, no. Iron Crag, yep. Sheoldred, and then if we can find a way around Sheoldred... Beseech the Mirror. So if I would have played Witch's Vanity last turn, we would have had more targets for... So getting greedy with this Witch's Vanity has proven not to be great. It's probably much better just to play this, even if you're not hitting anything with that first one. Based on what we've been doing today, right? Beseech the Mirror, we could just grab a card to hand. keep the Witch's Vanity. Because we could still play Abandoned Mire. I used the one Go for the Throat, didn't we? Yeah, we did. We did. Could be like a Gingerbrute for a couple turns in a row. How are we gonna get the rest of this damage through, guys? What are we thinking? We have our own Sheoldred. We can't play it this turn, though. Honestly, I'm not sure. Let's go Gingerbrute. Let's go. Oh, we're running out of time over here. I'm not paying attention at all. Go, Gingerbrute, go. Guys, there's so many options with the Beseech the Mirror that, like, yeah, they're gonna gain 2 every time, too. Scoundrel comes down. We kill Scoundrel with the Witch's Vanity, which means Gingerbrute can continue to get through. Oh, they're actually gonna trade out that Scoundrel, which means they might have another one in hand, or they just decided that the ramp on Big Score was much better than playing another creature for the turn. While the Big Score draw also gains them even more as well. Oh no, we might need a second Go for the Throat based on how many Sheoldreds we saw today, huh? Okay, guys, I guess we're just going to play the Witch's Vanity. Keeping this in hand has proven to be not the best thing, because if we didn't, like, we still could have played this, sacrificed it, got our second Sheoldred, but against a deck like that, I don't know how much that actually would have ended up doing, you know what I mean? Spot removal and all that. They're going to take the 1. Yeah, I think that's a GG's, huh? Ooh, Decadent Dragon. I wonder what they hit with that. Because they can play everything from our deck, even without the treasures. Down to 8. We are creating a food token. They swing for 4. We take 2 from the draw. Wicked Roll on that Gingerbrute could be good. Ashiok as well, bro. Yeah, they did the mid-range thing, and they did it well. That Gix's command is brutal stuff, dude. The Drown in Ichor is what they hit from us. Nice. Oh, you have to tap the Gingerbrute to activate its food ability. That's right, that's right. They get the proliferate on the Ashiok too. Which is really sick, man. They still have 3 open, so they can't play the dragon. So we're gonna die next turn, not this turn. Oh, dragon doesn't have haste anyways. Ooh, Okiba Reckonerade is pretty good. I think if we... Yeah, I think we had a really good chance there, man. Well, first of all, we needed to have our board not get wiped. But if I would have played around that board wipe a little better... No, yeah, I still don't know. I think this would have started leaning towards the opponent pretty good. The second Sheoldred being a key player in this match for sure, because we dealt with the first one quite effectively. So does that mean we need a second Go for the Throat? I don't know. More testing required, but yeah, probably, right? Chandra gonna wrap this up for them too. Very cool deck, opponent. Rakdos looking scary over there right now, huh? And then these will get a buff too. And then even if they didn't have lethal on the board, we're still taking 2 from the draw next turn off of Sheoldred. Did I drop them that GG, or was I just hovering over it? There we go. Okay, guys. Let's go ahead and go over the deck real quick, huh? I actually think... Well, let's get to the deck list here first, right? The update today has slowed things down just a little bit. Just a smidgen. Just a small, like, couple seconds. Like, the waiting for servers just seems a little bit slower as well. Alright, here's the deck list again, guys. Yeah, I actually think it's actually solid. I think it's pretty good. I don't know, like, we saw that it really struggles against mid-range. Like, if it gets into that mid-game, like, So what could we do to make that a little better? More card draw, more ways to deal with the mid-range threats or somehow survive board wipes and stuff. I don't know what we could do there without sacrificing some of the aggressive side of this. Which, speaking of which, we can totally keep up pace with Mono Red. I would have liked to actually see more Mono Red games to see if we were favored in a lot of them. Like, having Mono Red go first against us for a match would have been really nice. I would have loved to see that test game, you know what I mean? Because of all the life gain between Life of Toshiro, Okiba Reckoner Raid, and everything like that, like, yeah. And the food on the Witch's Vanity, potentially food on the Gingerbrute too. So there's a lot of ways to survive a little while longer against mono red. All the removals seemed completely fine with the Drown and Life of Toshiro. Again, just like if you're not going life gain, lots of great ways to remove your opponent's creatures with life as well, and removal with Witch's Vanity. That's probably what I would end up doing. Vanity, like being a 4 of, made sense when I put the list together. I was thinking, yep, another enchantment, creates artifacts, going to work well with Roadside, going to work well with the sacrifices on Braids and Beseech the Mirror, but it really missed its mark on that top ability there, especially against, again, yeah, those mid-range decks. Those were troublesome, for sure. So, although it's always going to hit its mark against things like Selesnya enchantments and mono red, so I guess it comes down to what are you seeing, but I could see dropping 1 or 2 of these and going up 1 or 2 Go for the Throats, easily. I could easily see that, dude, so. Now, like, we had an issue with Rafine that one game, and if we had, like, a cut down instead while it was still a 1-4, then that still would have dealt with Rafine and got around the ward pretty easy, so it all comes down to what you guys are seeing, I would say. So if you are seeing like a lot of legends, you know, cut down does do a lot against Esper Legends. So dropping a couple vanities, going up a couple cut downs could be sick. Cut down is one of those cards where hopefully like the Roadside Reliquary doesn't hold you up from like playing a sleeper, activating a sleeper, and then having a cut down available too, right? Because if you have that Roadside Reliquary as your third and you have 2 swamps, play sleeper, have the sleeper ability activated, and then at that point it would be an and or for the cut down, right? So that depends. I don't think the one of Roadside Reliquary would get in the way that often, but that is something to think about. And I'm very particular about the lands that tap for colorless. So, and that might just be me, but I feel like if you can get punished, you will get punished with mana bases and Magic. You know what I mean? Speaking of mana bases, 22 seemed fine. We flooded sometimes. Yeah. We struggled to find our third in that one game. No, that's just Magic the Gathering. I think 22 is perfect. I don't think I would drop down any because there are so many turns where you want to do multiple things on that turn. So if you go down to 21 or 20, then you might struggle doing multiple things on the same turns. Yeah, speaking of doing multiple things, yeah, we're just spamming stuff onto the board. So our hand seemed relatively empty often too. So maybe more card draw could be pretty cool. Sugar Rush was neat. I like this as a 2 of. I wouldn't drop these. It still might be a janky pick, but I really love how it replaces itself, so I wouldn't drop them. I like it, dude. Artwork is always sick, too. I was gonna say, like, yeah, look at how creepy that candy is, but all the artwork, all the time, dude. I always love it. Oh, Dreamthief. Yeah, dude, this was sick, huh? Also, like, this is a great budget option too. So if you don't have like all the sleepers, then just go up like the other Dreamthief too. Go up to 4 of these. A lot of the 1-drops are budget. And same concept with like Oathsworn. That's another rare too. So you could just go up some of the other budget cards if you don't have all the Oathsworns. Maybe you don't have any of these. I could see. Well, first of all, if you don't have any of these, then that could be the spot where you add a couple more Go for the Throats. Then at that point, the honorable mentions come in handy, like the Blight Belly Rat would be a good example of a replacement card that would be budget. The top end starts getting a little bit more expensive too, but still, like, yeah, a lot of cool budget options for the build since so much of it is already just commons and uncommons to begin with. All right, guys, enough rambling, huh? I really enjoyed this one. Mono black aggro has always been one of my favorites. Like, we see so much mono black mid-range, that's fine and dandy and all, and sure, it's like a ultra powerhouse usually, but when it comes to like being aggressive, mono black still knows how to do that, and I think this is definitely a decent enough one to do that aggro thing. The big thing is, yeah, the 4 Witches Vanities is probably a little excessive, so we could drop a couple of those and then go up whatever the heck you feel like at that point, right? Either way, guys, if you made it this far into the video, y'all are champions for real. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.